The trek to the diner practically silent compared to just a few hours ago. Aside from the nightlife, there's no screaming or shooting. The way there is fairly straightforward, straight down Main Street. Oh, Main Street, fuck! However, we decide to cut through backyards instead of using the road. Good idea. Leo tells us it's the best way not to be seen if there are people around. TJ keeps close to me, wanting me to keep my arm around his shoulder as we move. His eyes either squeezed shut or staring straight ahead. Did we ever fucking wrap our wound, by the way? Because we were bleeding pretty good. It's like we're moving through a haunted house and he's too terrified to look in either direction. It does get too difficult to keep him that close, though, especially as we start to have to move through bushes and hop fences. I have to hold his hand instead. In any other situation, I'm sure TJ would have been running for the hills in embarrassment, but he clings to me like he's never going to let go. We all move in silence through the brush. The quiet is actually almost unnerving, almost as unnerving as the shouts and gunshots were. As we move under a few stray trees, I try to keep the memory of seeing the corpse strung up out of my head. There's no way a demon, or whatever they said it was, did that. It was one of the town crazies, killed and then mutilated that person to convince us of their delusions. There's 4 of us now, and 2 of us have guns. We're gonna be fine. You're not gonna be fine! We get to after only about 5 minutes, though most of it has been spent floundering through the brush and old broken fences. Because of the meandering, we actually miss it and have to backtrack. Cautiously, we make our way around to the diner, to the parking lot, and immediately spot the lone van. When we finally do get there, Leo jogs up to his van, shoving a hand in his pocket, but then he freezes and stares down. Oh, shit. They let Chase keep his keys, but he didn't. They took Leo's, I guess? Fuck. Me and TJ arrive next to Leo, and TJ finally lets go of my hand. What is it? I ask, but I see no problem. But I see the problem at the same time that I do. The dude tires that I can see are brutally slashed. Fuck! That sucks. That sucks. That sucks. Oh, man. But the other 2 are in the same way. I mean, if all your tires are flat, then usually you can just ride on the rims. Leo puts his hands up to his face, rubbing his eyes vigorously with his palms. What? Who did that? TJ reaches out and grasps my hand again, as it moves over to the other side of the truck to inspect it. Now it's a truck. It was a van a little bit ago, and earlier I thought I remembered it as being a truck when I found out it was a van. What the fuck? Brian. Leo growls out the name. How do you know? Leo doesn't say anything, and sitting down on his haunches as he stares at the completely destroyed wheel. Who's that? TJ asks quietly from beside me, studying my expression. Wonder if I should tell him. Probably not. Him scared of seeing things is bad enough. We don't need TJ to be worried about an actual person who's out to kill us. I'd actually completely forgotten about the bear up until this point. If it truly was him, then we're in even more danger than I thought. It's just another person we saw, acting weird. It's all right. He didn't seem to take much comfort in that, staring at the tires. Whether or not it was Brian, whoever it was had done a number on the tires, completely tearing the rear tire to shreds. Holy shit! Because he comes up from around the side of the van, shaking his head. Other 2 tires are the same. How far do you think we'd get on flats? Leo lets out a ragged growl, standing back up. Not far enough. We'd probably get to the lake before the goddamn wheel falls off. Leo stands there thinking. Should we just go back to the motel? He shakes his head. No, I'm not staying here another minute. I'd rather start walking, actually. To the highway? That'd take half the day. Well, we'd at least be getting somewhere instead of sitting around here. I look down Main Street towards the darkness of the lake and desert. The ominous feeling I get is overwhelming, Like I have no doubt that if we set out into the desert, we wouldn't last long at all. I don't know why. I shudder violently, and TJ glances at me. He squeezes my hand, and I find it funny how quickly the role of the one doing the reassuring is flipped. I think we should go back to the motel. He finally looks back at me, and I see his expression soften. Hey, Otter, it's gonna be fine. I'm gonna get us out of here, okay? I noticed the same tone he used with TJ earlier. He sets his hands on my shoulders, but I honestly don't feel very reassured. TJ pipes up from next to me. Carl's house has some cars. Maybe he's there and we could leave with him in the car. Leo looks out towards the mountain range at Carl's house. We can't see it since all the lights are apparently off. Maybe. If he's not there, then we could just break in. I see TJ blanch next to me. Even now, he's battling his moral values versus our need to survive. I still just want to go to the motel, hole up there, and wait. Yeah, the Otter thing is fucking me up too. Maybe sleep. I'd give anything to just be able to lay down somewhere safe right now. But now, with the new possible factor of Brian, I can see the benefit of getting the hell out of here now. Alright. Leo sets his jaw, narrowing his eyes. Let's go. Remember to stay close. We don't bother going off-road on the way to Carl's place, mainly because we'd just be trudging through sagebrush full of ticks at that point. Leo figures that since Carl's house is the only thing up this road, aside from the canyon to nowhere, no one would be driving there anyway. It takes us about 20 minutes to get there, walking in silence up the cracked road. The only sound are panting. I'm the loudest, considering my short legs, and also that I'm probably the most out of shape compared to the others.
Same.
When we're close to the mansion, I look back down towards Echo. Only a few of the streetlights dot the small town. I don't see anyone on the roads near them. I see a window or two here or there with their lights on, but no movement from within. We only hear two sounds on our trek.
No.
One is a blood-curdling scream coming from the town behind us, a woman. TJ reaches out again for my hand when that happens, and I squeeze it comfortingly. The next, a few minutes later, is a faint laughter coming from further away that rises in pitch before fading back out. I grimace, wondering if anyone else heard it, or if it came from inside my head. No one says anything, and I don't ask. By the time we reach the mansion, I'm covered in sweat, and I keep adjusting my shirt uncomfortably as it sticks to my chest and shoulders. The garage door is closed, and there aren't any cars in the driveway. I wonder if maybe Carl already took off. I hope he did. We stand in front of the door, and Leo holds out a hand to us, motioning us to be quiet. I watch his ears poke up to full extension before he moves to the glass of the door, cupping both hands over his eyes to peer inside. We wait for a tense moment, and I wonder if maybe he's looking in on something horrific. But after a while, Leo pulls back, shaking his head. Maybe he left, or he's with one of the others? Kazu offers quietly, standing just behind me. Maybe. Leo appears to be thinking hard, then he reaches out to the doorbell with an index finger. What the fuck are you thinking? He hesitates for a full 2 seconds before pressing it. The fancy chimes ring softly from inside. I notice Leo's got a hand on his gun, watching through the glass intently. I also notice that not only is TJ pressing close to me, but so is Kudzu from the other side, his shoulder slightly ahead of mine.
There's my sock. Look at my sock.
It's almost like he's shielding me. A minute goes by before Leo tries again. We wait another minute before Leo lets out a ragged sigh. Whether it's from relief or frustration, I'm not sure which. Considering what's happening, you'd think some people from the town would have come here to loot or something. I look back at the town, its few glints of light staring ominously back.
What are you gonna do?
I'm able to suppress my shiver this time. I turn back just in time to see Leo try the door, and to my amazement, it opens. Leo seems surprised too when he lets the door slowly swing open. We all stare into the blackness beyond, a few lights from the TV glowing in the darkness. Should we go in? Leo clears his throat. Well, we gotta get the keys somehow. Leo steps inside slowly, hand reaching along the wall to find a light switch. Oh! He finds it, and I almost jump as the interior of the house is revealed. It's just Carl's kitchen, though. Nothing seems to be out of place as far as I can see. I start to step forward too, but I can feel TJ hesitate on my hand. I look back at him. You alright? He's staring into Carl's house, his eyes wide. Yeah, I'm good. It's probably safer inside anyway, right? TJ swallows and finally steps in with me, Kudzu following close behind. The mansion is pleasantly cool against my sweaty fur. There's something strangely comforting about something as simple as the AC still running. A sense of normalcy. Leo stands there, looking around intently before moving to the cupboards. He starts opening drawers, searching the counter, looking for keys. I leave TJ to huddle on the couch before moving to the kitchen myself. Hey, can we look for Carl too? Leo pushes close a drawer full of silverware. Yeah, give me a sec. I sigh. I'll be fine. It'll be faster if I look for him while you look for the keys. Leo shakes his head. Gotta stick together. I suppress another sigh and move back to the living room. Somehow TJ's already managed to fall into a doze, curled up in a small ball on the couch. How you doing? I look over at Kudzu, who's got his arms folded, watching me closely. I'm doing okay, just kinda tense. Kudzu gives one of his rare smiles at that. No kidding? Yeah. I glance over at Leo, who's starting to rifle through some drawers full of what looks like open letters. I'm just thinking about Carl, if he's here or not. Glance back at Leo. Hey, Leo wants us to stick together, but like a kudzu. You want to help me find Carl? Maybe you sweep upstairs and I'll look in the basement real quick? Kudzu glances at Leo as well. That'll make things go a bit faster. Yeah, I think it'll be fine. I really don't think anyone's in this house. Kudzu nods towards the window facing the town. What I've seen, people are mostly wrapped up in their own issues. I don't think anyone's interested in looting here. Alright, I'll take a quick look upstairs. I smile. Cool, I'll take a quick look downstairs. Oh, and keep a lookout for keys, too. And with that, we both move to the staircase. Give Leo one last glance to make sure he's not watching before we both head in our respective upward and downward directions. That's great. We're splitting up. That's what we need to do. I flip on the light switch to head into the basement, and it's only when I stare into the dark hole I'm heading towards that I get the first inklings of fear. Oh, here it is. I shake my head, remembering what Kudzu had said. If anyone's here, it's definitely only Carl, and that would be a good thing. If we can find him, we can bring him with us, and we'll be on our way out of this hellhole. I tell myself this as I bounce quickly down the stairs, wanting to get this over with as soon as possible. Now in the basement, I glance around quickly into the several doors down here. Storage room, weight room, a video game looking room. I start to realize that if Carl is here, he's most likely upstairs, but I'm really just giving the basement a cursory check. I start to rush through, not wanting to take too long in case Leo notices, and if he hasn't already. I reach the end of the long basement hallway, and I'm left looking into a smaller room. There's a tiny white wooden door that I assume leads to the crawl space. Oh, here we go, Jesus. I stare at it for a moment, not even thinking to bother with it, until I see little white hoof prints. There are several of them, like someone came and went dozens of times, into and out of the crawl space. I look back behind myself, feeling a chill run up my spine like someone's watching me. Looking back at the prints, I notice that the little door is just slightly open. Could Carl be in there? I remember that he'd been down here when we couldn't find him during the birthday party. At that moment, I catch a glimpse of something poking out from the door. It's skinny and hairy, very long, maybe 6 inches in length. I stare. I wonder what it is. If it's a Halloween decoration that's stored under there. Chase! Leo's voice booming down the stairs makes me jump a foot in the air. I don't have time to stare at the black thing any longer, and instead stumble down the hall towards the sound of Leo's voice. It was probably like Carl's ear or something. Oh, Jesus. The icy glare directed at me as I move up the stairs actually makes me cower a little bit. I'm not used to having his monolithic anger directed at me. I almost got a leg cramp, but I stopped it just in time. I told you to stick together. His voice rumbles out at me. Sorry, I found something. Well, Kudzu did too. Carl's upstairs. What? The thoughts of the hoof prints disappear from my mind immediately. He told me you were down here. Come on. More gently now, he grasps my hand and pulls me the rest of the way upstairs. I'm expecting us to turn into Carl's room, but instead we go further towards the end of the hall. I think this is where Carl's parents' bedroom is. Carl's lying on the bed, looking over at TJ, who's in the middle of talking to him from the side. Well, so he's just fine, I guess. He's probably not fine. Granted, probably not fine, but he's not in the crawl space, so he's at least not there. He glances our way when we enter the room. Leo, Chase? He squints at us like he's having trouble focusing. I smile and sigh with relief. Carl! Carl! I move to the side of the bed next to TJ, and that's when I see that the ram is covered in a white-looking chalk substance. It reminds me of the prints downstairs. It's all over his horns, and a bit of what looks like drywall is covering the pillow around his head. What happened? Are you okay? We just taking a nap? Easy, Leo says to me, so I keep shut my mouth. TJ reaches out and grabs up one of Carl's big hands. Ram just stares at the ceiling now, looking just as confused as we are. I look over at Kudzu, who's standing a little off to the side, like he did when we were trying to talk to TJ. What happened? I mumble at the raccoon, and Kudzu moves a little closer. Hell no, I just came in and thought he was taking a nap or something. I glance back at Carl, watching as TJ starts to gently pet his forehead.
You think throwing a fit is gonna get you what you want?
But he wasn't? Kudzu shrugs. He was sort of, I don't know, he was sweating and mumbling. I kept calling his name, like, really loudly, to the point where that Leo came up. Carl starts to breathe heavily as he covers his face. I think he's crying, so I step back a bit, with Kudzu not wanting to crowd him as TJ leans over and hugs him. It wasn't until Leo touched him that he woke up, like really suddenly. No, I'm fine. Carl lets out a weird shaky laugh as he sits up, wiping his eyes. I was just having a really fucked up dream. Felt like I was in it for hours, man. Carl leans back on his hands, staring at the ceiling again. I had a dream that the town went fucking insane, and I ran back here and just sort of went downstairs, and then I was gone. Gone? Where? Carl shakes his head. I don't know, a hotel or something? A few hallways that went in circles that I couldn't get out or wake up. Ha 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 ha, we know this! We know this! Carl looks back at us. Even now, I don't know if I'm dreaming. At least there's people around. Carl shakes his head, a cloud of dust coming up from his fur. What are you guys doing here anyway? Actually, the town did go a bit strange. What, really? Leo seems to hesitate, clearly not wanting to rile up Carl more than he already is. Yeah, but we're trying to leave. Actually, that's why we're here. We need a car. So what I saw in the town, however long ago that was, it really happened? Maybe. Like, people were running around shooting and stuff. He didn't say anything to that. Why do you need my car? What about your van? It broke down. Carl narrows his eyes. How? Listen, we'll tell you everything on the way. We just need to get out of here now. TJ picks up some of the bits of white chalk from Carl's head fur. What's all over you? Carl runs a hand over his head, bringing it away to find it covered in white dust. Oh, ran into the wall. Oh. Carl suddenly points at my arm. Dude, what happened? Huh? Oh. I lift my arm and remember the cut that I got from the broken window. The fur's heavily matted down with blood, and the jagged cut is still oozing a little bit. Oh, god damn! Long story. We'll explain, like Leo said. Ram stares at the cut, so I lower my arm. It seems to be finally settling in for Carl that things are not right. I've also realized that none of us are immune to the new hysteria setting into the town. Is this what it was like for all those people living in the town over 100 years ago? I managed to think humorously to myself that I actually did do what I set out to do when I started the project. It was pretty clear that it's happening all over again. So you got your keys? We need to get the hell out of here and get this town some help. Yeah, get them from my room. Oh shit. Well, that was a lot easier. I don't like the word oozing. Yeah, fucking I feel you there. We pull quietly out of the driveway in Carl's car, which makes almost no sound since it's a hybrid. Hey! Leo's driving, of course. Yeah, why not let Carl drive his own car? I mean, he did wreck his other one, so it kind of makes sense, but goddamn. Carl's still woozy, and Leo actually had to help him walk around to find the keys. Okay, that actually is a good reason. I sit in the back between Carl and TJ while Kudzu sits in the passenger seat next to Leo. I'd overheard Leo mumbling to Kudzu to sit next to him while I helped Carl into the car. Something about them needing to be able to get out of the car quickly with their guns if things went wrong. Leo doesn't floor it like I expected him to, but we moved down the bench of the mountain and through the town speedily enough. I see TJ look out his own window intently, and I can only imagine if it's to see if we can spot Jenna or maybe even Flynn. Dude, I don't feel good. Carl mumbles next to me, both his hands on his stomach, twisting at the fabric of his hoodie. Just puke on the floor if you have to. I don't think Leo's gonna stop. Carl leans over and puts his head between his knees, groaning. That gets TJ's attention, and he starts rubbing the back of rubbing the ram's back slowly. It feels like there's nothing in me. So what the hell's going on? Where's Jenna? TJ frowns. We don't know. What happened then? I take a deep breath, trying to figure out how to explain. Well, we're not sure what's going on everywhere, but on Saturday, while I was at the diner with Leo, go through my story as quickly as I can, explaining to Carl what's been going on. The rest of the car is quiet, so I get anxious when I get to the part about Brian and skip over it as much as I can. I only mention that he held me there for a day. By the time I finish, we're already passing the lake. Oh, God! So it's Sunday already? Sunday morning? Yeah, I guess so. So I was out a whole fucking day? I don't say anything in response. What happened to you, Tej? You okay? Carl turns his gaze on TJ, who just nods. And then apparently speaks! So, why did you say just nods? Yeah, I was seeing things too. People chasing me. I noticed chasing is capitalized. I'm okay now though. Oh, here we go. God damn it, y'all are flicking me up. You're freaking me out, man. TJ actually does seem pretty stable now after everything that's happened. Maybe taking care of Carl is taking his mind off of whatever happened to him. Either way, he doesn't expound on what he saw. Carl shivers and puts his head back down while TJ continues to rub his back. A few minutes of silence go by before Carl speaks up again. It feels kind of nice. Reminds me of my mom. Yeah, actually, my mom did it too. That might help. Hey, I love you, just so you know, all you guys. I'm glad I'm not in that place anymore. I love you too, Carl, and everyone else. You too, Raccoon Man. Thanks. Yeah. I affirm my own love for everyone. Oh, that's a setup. That's a setup right there. Kudzu glances back at us before turning his attention out his own window. Leo doesn't say anything from the front, his focus solely on the road ahead of him. I watch the desert whip by us, for the first time feeling somewhat safe as the town disappears behind us. But of course, it doesn't last long. What's that on the side of the road there? Huh? Leo turns his head in the direction that Kudzu points. We all do. We see changes everything for me from that point on. Well, I wonder what it could be. Sure, things were crazy, and I had a hard time believing anything was happening, but it was explainable. People like Duke, Brian, TJ, even Carl were all seeing things, but it was kind of a distant thing in a way. Something everyone else was experiencing. Something I was exempt from. Or was it, did that say form? Oh no, it said from, okay. But now there it is. Something I can't explain right in front of me. What is it? What is it? What is that? Oh my gosh. TJ covers his mouth. Carl sits up straight trying to see. Leo slows down as we pass. There's my car. All of the windows shattered. And there's Duke, lying a dozen feet away from the open door of the driver's side. And there, crouching over him, is something I can't explain. Hairless, body and limbs long. Way too long. The head comes up and all I can see are 3 holes and blood. TJ screams next to me and Leo shouts something before stepping on the gas, slamming me back into my seat. I try to look back, but whatever it was is gone. At least it's gone from where it was, because I see something move next to my window when I turn to face it, and it stares back at me. Really? Really, man?
What did he do?
He shat on the carpet and then moved a little bit over to the side and then farted super loud. Well, I'm sure that would have left me in like a whole hysteric fit over the absolute what the fuckery. But then my dog exploded. I have no idea what in the fuck that was. All we know is that apparently it can move 1,000,000 miles per hour, or maybe it like is stuck to the car or something. But we're apparently getting really close to answers. Oh, Jesus, what in the holy God. So, that was the end of Leo's route for now. So, we will find out what that is next time that Leo's route gets updated. On the next episode, where we're going to check in on everyone's routes. I believe Carl's route got a finish, maybe, I don't know. But, until that point, thank y'all very much for watching this very long-ass episode of Echo. There was no ending point. I don't know if maybe I'm going to split it. I'm probably going to split it at some point. I don't know when or how or what, but I might split this in half because the stream has been going on for 4 hours. So if that's any indication that this is going to be a long-ass thing. But, we'll see. I don't know. Y'all already know at this point. But, for those watching on YouTube, thank y'all very much for watching. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, I have been the trained unprofessional, speaking for myself and the voices on my head and the squeak, who is wearing headphones apparently. And until next time. What?
I love the whole audience.
Heard thee well. Bye, everyone!
Say hi, Scoop. No bites. Just say hello.
Gotta ruin everything.